Hey everybody, it's me, Tim Keys, and I'm back with another video. This time, I want to talk about the Axis virus. Some of you may know about the Axis virus. It was a wonderful synthesizer back in the day that consisted of analog modeling synthesis. And not to go into too much detail, but they came out with quite a few different versions of the synthesizer throughout the years. And each time they introduced a new model, they added, a few new features. With the Axis Virus TI, standing for Total Integration, they included wavetables. So not only did you get a powerhouse of a synthesizer with all of the goodies of analog modeling, but without the headaches of dealing with some of your setbacks of a traditional subtractive synthesizer, but they also gave you wavetables. So you got the luxury of having a boatload of polyphony, comparatively speaking, and you got the luxury of having not only just your analog modeled waveforms, but wavetables as well. And I think don't chew my head off if I get this one wrong, but I think to my knowledge this also had a limited amount of FM synthesis on top of some granular waveforms along with the wavetables. So this was a powerhouse of a synthesizer for its time. Unfortunately, to get your hands on one today will cost you anywhere around between $1,500 to about $2,000 for the full featured TI's series. They have the Virus Snows, which are a smaller desktop unit, and they may cost a little less, but I haven't seen one for anything less than about, sheesh, 1,500, maybe 1,200. That's still a pretty penny to pay for a synthesizer, no matter how good it is. And mind you, they have not come out with any updates in terms of the synthesizer line, not the software, but they haven't updated or come out with a new model since 2007, not including the Kira from Waldorf. I know a lot of people, when the Kira first came out, a lot of people thought that was supposed to be the spiritual successor to the Virus TI. Anyhow, if you can't get your hands on a TI, I wanted to show you another alternative. Enter the Viper. The Viper is a VST that has been said to mimic the behavior and the sonic quality of an Axis Virus TI. They give you a lot of different waveforms that's similar to the Virus, with your classic oscillators, your multi-saws, and the wavetable oscillator. You can even load your own, which is always a plus. And to my understanding, yes, they give you three oscillators to work with, 2 filters, envelope, 2 LFOs, and the effect spot. You got your arpeggiation, and you have your mod matrix. I've never tried the synthesizer out, so I cannot personally speak on how good it is. There are some feature characteristics that kind of, tweak my interest, such as, some of the effects. On the other hand, oh yeah, if you don't want to try out, you can always download the demo, use it, check it out. But if you want to bypass all that because you have your own wavetable synthesizer, or you have a device that plays wavetables, they give you on this webpage the ability to download the waveforms and wavetables sampled from the TI. So that's pretty neat. I don't know what type of arrangement he worked out, this individual what they worked out with the developers. Um, I'm also going to say, for those who might get the idea of distributing sounds or the wavetables, I would be very careful. I was online and I read something not too long ago that kind of went, it was like a no-no. But, for your own personal use, to make music or to put them in your own production, hey, it's here and it hasn't been taken down. So what I'm going to show you is how to access some of those sonics and put them in your wavetable synthesizer. And for this tutorial, I am going to use Vital. Boom. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. And so yes, Vital can handle loading up your own wavetables, whatever you have, including Axis Virus TI wavetables. So that means, yes, with a little programming and a little work, you can get some of those same sonics of the Axis Virus TI. Now I'm going to be upfront. I have never played with the TI personally. I have also never bothered to download the demo of the VST. So I can't speak to either of those things sonically and advocate for those plugins either way or the device. But I can say that you would have access to the wavetables if you download the file. I did a little bit of reading, and I think the wavetables, I think they give you somewhere around 100 wavetables from the initial virus, because that's what it came with. Anyhow, now we're going to get started, and so I'm going to do a brief sound design tutorial as well and show you how you can make a, I might go for a pad, I might change it to a lead, but how you can make your own sounds using the virus wavetables in this free software. I'm still using the free version. When I get around to it, I'll probably upgrade and get the full feature $80 version because it's worth it. Anyhow, let's get started. So the first thing I am going to do is, I don't want to be here. I want to be, nope, I do. I want to be here. Sorry. I want to go here. I'm going to click on this button on the side. I'm going to import a wavetable. I am going to go, into my hard drive. And I'm going to wait a little bit. There we go. And I'm doing this on the fly in real time, so I'm not doing a lot of editing. There we go. Wavetables. I have a lot of wavetables. Axis Virus TI2 wavetables. And so I'm just going to pick one and then we'll go from there. Open. I'm not going to mess with these because you can, and it will change the harmonic characteristics of the wavetable, which is nice. I don't want to do that for right now. I just want to keep it simple. So I got my sound. The first thing I want to do for me is I'm going to mess with this unison device. And I'm going to just open it up to about 3 voices. I'm going to lower the amount of detuning. And that's just going to widen up my sound. One thing that's important in sound design, in my opinion, I think a lot of people try to add a whole bunch of unnecessary mystery to sound design. And in my humble opinion, although I'm not an expert, I've made a few patches. I made quite a few patches here and there. But to me, it all boils down to a few points. Your oscillator, your filter section, and then your effects. That's going to greatly impact your sound. So regardless if it's analog, wavetable, the type of wavetables that are in, additive, granular, at some point they all kind of overlap because the general process of most synthesizer will use what they call elements of subtractive synthesis, meaning they're going to shave off harmonics. You're going to have harmonically rich waveforms. Ooh, take that off. And basically through filtering, they're going to adjust those harmonics going through. Then you have your envelope. Usually the biggest part after your filtering is going to be your amplitude envelope. A lot of your sounds, pluck, lead, a lot of it is determined by the amplitude envelope. Your filtering envelope will just adjust how that filter runs through that sound and to what extent it automates the filtering. Anyhow, so I got my sound. I'm going to use this. I'm going to click on this icon. I'm going to go for a format. And that is going to change the texture of my sound. All right. I can also click on this. This is the frame. And it's going to go through various parts of the wavetable. Right, it's going to give you that sound. Now, here's a fun fact. I read an article by, I think his name was Wolfgang Palm. He's the guy that made the PPG wavetable synthesizers back in like the early 80s. And when he was coming up with wavetable synthesis as we understand it today, his initial goal was to try to simulate a waveform going through a filter, but without it actually going through a filter. And sometimes, depending on the wavetables, you can kind of hear that. You take an old subtractive synthesizer and you adjust your filter envelope and play with those frequencies and those resonant parts. You can kind of get some of that same effect as a wavetable synthesizer. Obviously not to the same extent as we do now. All right. So I like that. What I want to do is create some movement without me having to adjust these knobs with the mouse. So I'm going to go over here to my mod matrix. Under source, I'm going to click on LFO. And I want to go to oscillator 1. And let's see. I want to go to not my waveframe, not my unison, my pan. I'm going to go to my frame. Yep. We'll go that way. Now what I want to do is go over here. I'm in my LFO section. I got my tempo. Right now it's giving me a time, like a half time. I want to change it to seconds. Yep, I like that. Yep, so that's cool. I apologize. I'll do a lot of playing in the notes and messing around with keys, and I'll probably play the same chord progression over and over again because I just want to make sure like I get a feel for what I'm hearing and determine if I like it. So all right, I like that. Now what I'm going to do is, let's go back to the voice. I'm not going to take too long. I just want to make it fairly quick. All right, I'm in my form scale. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to the matrix. I'm going to use the same LFO. I'm going to click on my oscillator, and I'm going to go to the frequency morph amount. Now, you don't have to use the same LFO. In my case, I do, just because it kind of simplifies things and makes it easier, especially having a mod matrix. I can have an LFO do multiple things and serve multiple functions, as opposed to trying to put each LFO to, each different spot. I can save myself a lot of time and a lot of space. I'm going to go here and adjust the polyphony. So about 12. All right, so I got the movement. So I'm back at my voice. Now I'm going to adjust the amplitude envelope. And, if you want a pad sound, for the most part, not in every situation, but for the most part, a pad sound will have a longer attack. And it will usually have a longer release. All right? If I was going for a pluck sound, I would have my attack all the way at the top, no adjustment. My release would be fairly short. My sustain will be fairly low. Now, when you turn the decay down along with your sustain being low, you get a transient. You can still hear something, but it's super low. Right? Turn it all the way down, you don't hear anything. This is how you get those percussive elements, and this kind of goes into drum synthesis territory, which I will get to in another video. All right, going back, I'll make a pad. Yep. All right. I'm gonna jack up my sustain and my release. Now again, I'm not going to sound like a virus because I don't actually have the virus. But it's cool to have those wavetables at your disposal. And it's cool that the developer of the synthesizer, the Viper, shared the wavetables that he used for his project. And it's nice that the developers of the Axis Virus synth, they do allow you to use the wavetables for personal use. So that's pretty neat. I turned on the second oscillator. I added a sawtooth wave. I'm going to split that up to, let's see. I like that sound. All right, I'm going to go with it. I'm not, pardon me. I'm not going to use the sample oscillator. This would come in handy. Let's say if you had patches from the Axis Virus TI that were sampled, like not just the wavetables, but the actual, like if you had a library of samples that you purchased or bought third party or whatever, and you wanted to run that through this oscillator, you could do that. And then you would have a combination of both the sample presets, and you would have the wavetables. I'm going to add another wavetable. And let's see, import bad sounds. Actually, this time I'm going to add my own custom wavetables. Wavetable set, put mine in, boom. All right. Same thing, I'm going to open it up. Can't do anything with that. I am going to use this frequency. There we go. I'm going to go back into my mod matrix because I like that. I'm going to put the LFO because I do like the slow speed. That's why I'm using the same LFO. I'm going to put that LFO on oscillator 2 and use the morph amount. I don't want to mess with that. I am not hearing what I want to hear. Frequency morph A. Nope, and I'm not hearing it. Still, oh, that's it. Uh-oh. Alright, so that's not working. Detune, level, phase. Let's see, we got phase randomization, blend, wave frame. I am not here. What I'm looking for. That's okay. I'm going to go back to that later on my own time and not take up too much of your time. I'll open that back up. spectrum more. Yeah. All right, awesome. Now to wrap this up, I'm gonna go to my effects and add a little reverb. There we go. It was just that time. Might have overdid it with the timing, but you get my point. All right. Awesome. I think I'm going to stop there, but you guys get my point. Kind of lost y'all once I got messing with this this parameter right here. And that is okay. I'm going to do some more work on this, but basically this is how you begin to make your own patches. Everything starts with the oscillator, and with the wavetable synth, it's usually about movement. If you want aggressive movements for if you're doing your dubstep type stuff to get those abrasive tones. If you want pads to create like a sonic, you know, some space, some lush overtones, then you make it into a pad. Add the reverb. I could add more like a chorus to broaden out the sound a little bit more, or phaser to create more movement within the sound. I could put the sample in to add more body, but this is pretty much. And then the filters to taste. Put everything on one filter. And as you can hear, the filter will cut out some of those frequencies. Alright, so there's that. I'll probably add a delay after I'm done. But that's pretty much all I have for this video. I just wanted to show you how you can, if you don't have an Axis Virus TI, but you kind of want to experience what it's like to have an Axis Virus TI and program some of those sounds. The wavetables are available. Again, it's here on this site. This gentleman was kind enough to take his synthesizers and sample it and give you access to the wavetables. You can also check out the synthesizer itself and use it. And I would check it out just, you know, just to give it a run, see if you like it, see what's available. But if you're on a budget and you don't necessarily want to deal with the limitations of the demo, thank goodness for a synthesizer like Vital. It's free. I'm using the free version. They have the paid version, which is like $80 for the most feature-rich version outside of doing like a subscription. But I just wanted to show you this and how you could get those Axis Virus TI sounds into your production setup. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Again, if you appreciate this video and you like it, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. But either way, I hope you have a great day. Peace.